Wednesday. Today we had phys ed, so the first thing I did when I got outside was sneak off to the basket court to see if the cheese was still there, and sure enough, it was. That piece of cheese has been sitting on the blacktop since last spring. I guess it must drop out of someone's sandwich or something. After a couple of days, the cheese started getting all moldy and nasty. Nobody would play basketball on the court where the cheese was, even though that was the only court that had a hoop with a net. Then one day, this kid named Darren, Darren Darren Walsh touched the cheese with his finger, and that's what started this thing called the cheese touch. It's basically like the cooties. If you get the cheese touch, you're stuck with it until you pass it on to someone else. The only way to protect yourself from the cheese touch is to cross your fingers. But it's not that easy remembering to keep your fingers crossed every moment of the day. I ended up tapping mine together so they'd start crossed all the time. I got a D in handwriting, but it was totally worth it. This one kid named Abe Hall got the cheese touch in April, and nobody would even come near him for the rest of the year. This summer, Abe moved away to California and took the cheese touch with him. I just hope someone doesn't start the cheese touch again because I don't need that kind of stress in my life anymore. Thursday. I'm having a serious hard time getting used to the fact that summer is over and I have to get out of bed every morning to go to school. My summer did not exactly get off to a great start thanks to my older brother Roddick. A couple of days into summer vacation, Roddick woke me up in the middle of the night. He told me I slept through the whole summer, but that luckily I woke up just in time for the first day of school. Shoot. You might think I was pretty dumb for falling for that one, but Roddick was dressed up in his school clothes, and he set my alarm clock ahead to make it look like it was the morning. Plus, he closed my curtains so I couldn't see that it was still dark out. After Roddick woke me up, I got dressed and went downstairs to make myself some breakfast, like I do every morning on a school day. But I guess I must have made a pretty big rocket because the next thing I knew, Dad was downstairs yelling at me for eating churros at 3 o'clock in the morning. It took me a minute to figure out what the heck was going on. After I did, I told Dad that Roddick had played a trick on me, and he was the one that should be getting yelled at. Dad walked down to the basement to chew Roddick out, and I tagged along. I couldn't wait to see Roddick get what was coming to him. But Roddick covered up his tracks pretty good, and to this way, I'm sure Dad thinks I've got a screw loose or something.